allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It's a packed house tonight.
3.02, accept district board results. Mr. Fleischhauer.
Thank you, President Lumia. Resolved that the Board of Education does hereby accept the results of the May 16th, 2023 budget vote and board member election as audited by the district clerk, Alberta Pedro. Proposition 1, budget, yes votes, 2,649. No votes, 1,075. Proposition 2, bus purchase, yes, 2,577. No, 1,134. School board member election, Anthony Ciro DeLulo, 926. John C. Lumia, 3,070. Keith Odoms, 2,893. Peggy Kelland, 3,011.
Motion. Peggy, Marie, all those in favor? Unanimous. I'd just like to, before we go into the next type, I'd like to make a comment. I'd like to thank all the district voters who voted for both the budget as well as the bus proposition. I'd like to thank Dr. Bonk and Christian for presenting such a fantastic budget. Also, I'd like to thank the community for returning the 3 board members to the board. So thank you once again, and hopefully we have a great year. Thank you. Marie?
I just want to thank Ms. Pedro. I don't think anybody in the community understands the sheer number of hours that this woman puts in throughout the entire year for the election and the week of the election, and then to have to also prepare for a board meeting and all the other million tasks that are asked of her. And I just want to extend my gratitude to her for all of her hard work throughout the elections.
Anyone else want to make a comment? I'd like to echo what she said. Nothing happens in this district without Ms. Pedro. In fact, without Ms. Pedro, we wouldn't be up here. She's a right hand for both the board and, of course, our superintendent. So thank you, Ms. Pedro. With that being said, public comment on agenda items. Please sign up. She's not signing up. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to listen to public comment. Although state law does not require us to hold a public comment period, we are chosen to do so because we believe it is crucial for us to hear from our community member about their concerns and issues. The board is here to listen. The public comment period is not designed to be a debate or dialogue. Please do not expect the board to respond to your concerns and questions tonight. We take your comments and questions seriously and want to have sufficient time to process and research issues if need be. Any question from the public should be submitted to the use of the public comment form, which may be obtained online or at the desk with the district clerk. We'll let the proper staff member get back to you as appropriate. I also want to point out that under state and federal privacy laws, we are unable to address any comments or questions about students or school personnel. We would ask you to go to the appropriate administrative channels. A total of 30 minutes at the beginning of each board meeting is set aside to allow for public comments on agenda items only. Public comments at the beginning of the meeting is limited only to the items on the agenda. Persons who wish to participate in the public comment portion of the agenda meeting are asked to provide their name and specific agenda item about which they want to speak. A sign-up sheet is located on the desk with the district clerk. Individual comments and agenda items is limited to 3 minutes and are welcomed. If you wish to address items related to our school district that are not on tonight's agenda, another comment period is provided at the end of the meeting for that purpose. A second sign-up sheet is available for non-agenda items. In the interest of civility and respect for different points of view, clapping, booing, or any disturbance or disruption during either public comment period is not permitted. At this time, comments related to agenda items are welcomed. Seeing none. 4.02, communications announcements received by the Board of Education. Marie?
I would like to say that I've had some really great times over the last 2 weeks. I've been able to attend quite a few baseball games, softball games, varsity, junior varsity, lacrosse, and some of my favorite times has been the unified basketball. A parent came here at the last meeting and kind of put it on our radars a little bit because I kind of let that one fall off. We were able to go to the senior night yesterday, and I have to say, I did cry. I cried a lot. Those kids were so amazing. Their energy, they were fabulous. I got to talk to several of them for a little bit. Also, the Festival of the Arts. I can't tell you what amazing artists we have in our district because it is from one end to the other. And we were able to also go to a couple of honor societies, Art Honor, Junior National Honors, Art Honor Society, and we've got several more coming up. I know that the girls golf placed 4th today in their sectional playoff. And we have Saturday's game with RCK versus John Jay at RCK, 10 a.m. And that is the semifinals. And we also have lacrosse girls tomorrow, boys lacrosse. So a lot of our teams made it to the finals and semifinals this year. So I'm very proud of them.
I would like to echo that it's been a very busy couple of weeks. We are really racking up steps going back and forth between the fields at RCK and John Jay. I also want to highlight the Unified Basketball Senior Night last night. It was a very, very moving event. I too was moved to tears, had some wonderful conversations with our athletes, a great conversation with the coaches, Ms. Walsh and Ms. Perry, who are very much interested in possibly expanding the program. Also had an opportunity to talk to parents at multiple sporting events, had a great conversation with students and parents at the reception after the Art Honor Society today. I very much enjoyed Festival of the Arts. I got to hear the Wappingers Junior High Jazz Band play. I watched Mr. Matt King's ukulele lessons with I was going to say the children, but it's for anyone who's interested. People look forward to that every year. Had a nice conversation with some of the members of our JBots robotics team. Yes, and it was also an honor to attend the press conference last week at Town of Wappinger Hall, at Wappinger Town Hall, regarding safety in the district.
Peggy?
I had the opportunity to attend Dr. Bonk's presentation of the budget at the Poughkeepsie Town Hall. I know he also gave presentations at East Fishkill and Wappingers. It was very, very effective. Thank you very much. Then on last week, we had the dedication of the adaptive playground on Spook Hill Road, which Dr. Bonk and Mr. Lumia and I attended. That's a wonderful addition to the town and can be used for our students. And they had a press conference in the Wappingers Town Hall, which many board members attended, as well as Dr. Bonk, about the cooperation that we're doing with for student safety and increased police coverage. The art in the park was, as always, wonderful. I spent almost the whole entire day, Saturday, in the park. There was so much art to see and musical performances to listen to. It's very impressive the way the different teachers inspire the children to different interpretations of the same curriculum. It was very creative. It was. If you haven't got an opportunity, be sure and drop in on the different schools. And the music was delightful. The Art Honor Society and the Music Honor Society this year provided a map and a program, and they were handing them out. They were very useful. On Monday, we attended the John Jay National Honor Society inductions, and today, the RCK Art Honor Society inductions.
John,
Keith,
thank you. All students should be honored. I know there was an honor society, but if when students set goals and they achieve those goals, they should be honored. It doesn't matter if they get A's, B's, or C's. So, but we did highlight students at John Jay because these were national corporate standards that they were able to achieve. So kudos to those students. Kudos to the students that Vassar Kenry Road, they had their spring concert last week, and best of luck to the musicians and the athletes. The musicians have NYSMA this weekend, and many student athletes have their games, their playoff games this week. So, you know, all throughout the year, we approve different budgets, but this is the time we really get the payback when we see all of these concerts and games and all these different events that take place. So I'm honored. Great to be back on the board and honored to see all these things take place. Thank you.
John,
Thank you very much, President Lumia. I was also able to attend the John Jay Honor Society induction. I thought the student officers who are seniors did a great job in their presentation, and wanted to mention them. Ms. Walsh and Ms. Perry do a wonderful job with the Unified Basketball Program, and have for years. And it's great to see. So thank you to them for their efforts. There's a sectional competition coming up, as other board members have mentioned, which is really the first phase of the New York State Public High School Athletics Association Championships. We've already had victories in early rounds for both schools. Big event this weekend where our two high schools are going to be competing against each other. They've already played twice this year. Those were closely contested baseball games, and I hope that not only the teams show up and put forth their best effort, but the local John Jay and Royce C. Ketchum communities and student bodies that are there to support their teams really showcase the very best of the Wappinger Central School District community in terms of sportsmanship. Thank you.
what's that, John? Anyone else?
I just wanted to, I know our students from FFA are up in Buffalo, and I want to thank Dr. Bonk for staying back with us instead of going up to Buffalo with our Future Farmers of America. They are in the middle of competition. They arrived safely yesterday, and they are competing in Buffalo until Sunday. And thank you for staying with us. I know it was a hard choice, the budget or Buffalo with the kids. And I know you were torn and you really wanted to be up there. I know you did. So thank you.
John, before I say something, you want to continue, John? Maury?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot something. The other thing is this evening, the John Jay Junior class is having their prom at the Ethan Allen over in Danbury. We hope they're having a wonderful time right this minute, and that everybody gets home safely this evening.
Last comments I'll make is, first of all, as I said before, I'd like to congratulate the 160 John Jay students for their hard work needed to be inducted into the National Honor Society. Also, congratulations to the 29 RCK students for being inducted into the Business Honor Society. This past Wednesday, Dr. Bonk and I, as well as some of the principals, attended the BOCES where they recognized the graduates from all of the various districts. So I'd like to mention their names. From Orchard View, the valedictorian was Juliana Crisafulli. Salvatore Adriana Zayas. From RCK was Natalie Hilton, who's going to be majoring in chemical engineering, and Madison Kaminski, our salutatorian biomedical engineer. And from John Jay High School, Nathan Lubendung.
Leo Bangdong.
I'm sorry?
Leo Bangdong.
Whatever. From electrical engineering. Archie Bunker. Nathan Liu Bandung. That's a tough name to say. I felt sorry. You have to spell that. As a little kid, that would have been impossible for me to do.
Very polite young man.
I met her. She's a good kid. And Cassidy Shukat. And she'd be going to Tufts to major in psychology. All the rest of the students were exceptional. Every one of these kids are beyond their grades or their hard work. It really, really was a worthwhile experience to go to the culinary, where we were served an excellent, excellent breakfast. And people have mentioned the Festival of the Arts. Very little recognition is given to the teachers who spent a great deal of time to get all those posters to be hung. I mean, it takes hours prior to the actual event, during the event, and after the event. I also like to congratulate thank the custodians or the groundspeople that actually put up all the sticks, all the posts the previous night and doing it there as needed. And last but not least, the teachers, the music teachers, for bringing their students in to perform in front of the community. In fact, as already been mentioned, there was a ukulele instruction, and I missed it. But so I went up there and said, "Can I have a ukulele? Give me a private lesson. Give me a private lesson on ukulele." I took one home, but unfortunately, the ukulele is so tiny that I could not get my stubby fingers in between the frets. So in any event, I have to try to find a new one. But thank you to everyone who's involved.
Mr.
in the
Lumia,
festival.
I just wanted to say that I was objecting to your comment that you missed it because I have photographic evidence of your private lesson with Mr. King.
I'm looking forward to it. But I tell you, I have to do something with these fingers before you give me the private lesson. Anyway.
Thank you, everybody, for doing such a great work. All right, superintendent report, Dr. Bum, you bring your mic back.
Okay, still put it here. Thank you. Dr. Bum, superintendent report.
Thank you, President Lumia. I need to say thank you. I need to say thank you to our community for continuing to support our school district and our students, each and every one of them. I need to thank the senior staff, administration, all of our staff. I need to thank this Board of Education. The passage of this budget and the manner in which it was passed shows this community's commitment to students and to education. You've heard many comments and you continue to hear many comments about opportunities for students. You just listened to 18 minutes of discussion and accolades for all of our students for thriving in opportunities. It's one of the most important things that we do. The budget next year, and it is my expectation, future budgets will provide these excellent opportunities for our students to learn, to grow, and experience success, to find a purpose, to determine a passion. I believe that success is infectious. And once people start to experience success, they crave more of it and they regularly expect it. I believe that the district is at that point. As I use the theme from our budget, I look forward to moving forward together. I need to speak about the Festival of Arts, which was a phenomenal production, and it was a production. I need to thank our Director of Fine and Performing Arts, Mrs. Bonnie King. I also need to thank our Director of Facilities and Operations, Mr. Ronald Brois, and whoever brought about the phenomenal weather. It was just a great day. And again, it was a showcase of our students, celebration of our students. And as we've discussed, we've had a number of them to this point. We'll certainly have more of them over the coming weeks. We look forward to the end of year graduations, moving up ceremonies. I want to thank the community for their attendance and their support. I notice that it grows every year, and I want to thank you for that. Unified Basketball, I had an opportunity to attend the event yesterday. It was phenomenal. I do expect, and it will be my recommendation, that we continue to grow the program as I think we had well over 25 students that participated on the combined Wappingers team. Again, it's about opportunities. We provide our students with opportunities. They thrive and they're successful. And with that, thank you again to the community for supporting our district, supporting our students, and the passage of the 23-24 budget and bus replacement purchase. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bunk. 5.03, Amoresco presentation.
Good evening, I'm Craig Rebecca. Oh.
Yes.
Good evening, I'm Craig Rebecca from Amoresco. I am the project manager for the energy performance contract, which is the project that I've been working for since about March of 2020 with district. The focus being energy conservation, money conservation. We started in March of 2020. The design began obviously well before that. And obviously we had a little kind of global issue during this project, which added some drama. But we have completed some non-rooftop solar stuff, some LED lighting, computer controls, new kitchen appliances in a number of schools, which have been done for a while. I don't think they're terribly exciting, but more interestingly, we did do rooftop solar panel systems on the roofs of 7 schools in the district. Originally it was going to be 5, but as part of the design process, the district also made significant upgrades to Ketchum and John Jay, but to Ketchum in particular, where more rooftop equipment was added. So we actually expanded the project to include Fishkill Plains and Gayhead to keep the output of these solar systems consistent with the original plan. So I'm going to run through the schools. We're starting with Vassar because this one's been operational for a little over a year, to just get the basics out of the way. Number one, you'll notice some rooftop systems that you see, the roof is covered with solar panels. A lot of the buildings, maybe all of the buildings in the district, don't have what maybe would be a traditional steel deck, which can obviously take a lot more weight than the districts, than Vassar and the other schools have. It's a lightweight concrete called Tectum. So the structural engineer design firms were very cautious, and there's no penetrations. We didn't drill into these roofs. The systems are held down with weights, but the calculations factored in the weight of the panels, the racking, the ballast blocks, and 2 to 3 feet of snow. So that's why some areas, even though they're flat and empty, they didn't get solar panels because the structural engineers deemed it wasn't appropriate. So Vassar is a smaller system, a little under 200 panels, and an inverter is the device. They're kind of the heart of the system. It takes the output from the solar panels, which is direct current DC like a battery, and it turns it into alternating current AC power that can be injected into the building more or less. So Vassar, and you can see the inverter on the upper right, and again, a nice drone shot of the overall picture of Vassar. That's what a typical system looks like. So I hope that was a clear explanation. Evans, same idea. There are some empty spaces. Again, structure just didn't allow it. One interesting thing about Evans, with the district's input, we found a void. So we created a room without doing an addition to the building. On the upper right, new doorway. We put all the hardware associated with the solar panels and the photovoltaic system, sometimes I'll call it PV, into that room. So we didn't take up any space outside, just made the project a lot neater in many ways. Brinkerhoff is the one school that's still ongoing. We have a little bit of work left to do, but we expect to be done in June. And this is, the district got an upgrade in terms of the old transformers were very old style. They were actually still inside the building. So as part of the upgrade in coordination with Central Hudson, there's a new transformer outside, new building transformer, which you actually started in April of 2022. And then Central Hudson finally received the new transformer, and we installed that during the Easter break of 2023. That's the pictures along the bottom, is the whole new service to the building. So we expect to have this system online next month. Van Wyck Junior High School came online recently. This is the second biggest system. It's running well. Ketchum is also almost done. We have a slight warranty problem with the inverters. Again, we expect to have this one online within a matter of weeks. In the lower left corner of that picture is the disconnect. It's the main disconnect for the system. All the schools have it. That allows, in some unforeseen situation, if you wanted to isolate the solar panels from the rest of the building, you can walk up to that box, pull the disconnect, and you have that instantaneous isolation, which is required, and it's certainly a good idea. Again, hoping to have this one on site. This one is 99.9% done. We're hoping to get this one done, get up and running very shortly. Fishkill Plains is another building where, as part of the upgrades required by the utility, there's a new transformer on site. And like at Evans, we were actually able to keep all the equipment associated with the solar panels inside the old transformer vault. On an earlier project, the district got rid of those inside pot type transformers, got them out of the building, put it outside. So now there's a bigger transformer that serves both Fishkill Plains and the new bus garage by Fishkill Plains. And Gayhead is the 7th building, again, a very large system. And this is another one where it got complicated in terms of the pictures along the bottom are intended to illustrate how, again, there was a very old transformer and a little bit of a mystery. The wires going into the building were very undersized by today's standards. So the district got a new building transformer and we upsized those conductors, which will definitely pay dividends in the future as technology and air conditioning and all these types of issues are being considered by the district. So that's done. That's another one like Ketchum where we're 99%. We expect that one to be turned on in the next couple of days, next couple of weeks, within the next 2 weeks or so. As part of the solar element of the Amoresco Energy Performance Contract, this is not beautiful in terms of being visible now, but this is the basics of a website that will be available to the district through Amoresco, and that can be customized and molded exactly how the district would like. Again, it's a little tough to see under this exact screen, but there'll be a page for every school. There are the dials on the left, and that kind of indicate the electrical output on a given day, in a given instant, historical. The data can be downloaded for teaching purposes. This website is intended to be the district's tool to help communicate with all stakeholders about what those systems are doing. And it was a big investment, but I think it's a good investment, these solar panels on the roofs. They will provide a lot of benefit, and a silver lining to a dark cloud is the higher energy prices are, the higher electric prices are, the better investment these solar panels are, which is like I say, a silver lining to a dark cloud. And that's basically what I was going to say as far as a presentation. I hope that was sufficient. And again, if anybody questions or how we want to structure that, I promise to keep it short. Minutes.
Before any presentation, Craig, I'd like to thank you for all you've done all the years for the district. We really appreciate it. I know you're dedicated, you're a community member, your kids in the school district, and I know you'll look for what's best for our district. So thank you for all the effort. And with that being said, are there any comments? Yeah, Eddie?
It's pretty much the same thing. President Lumia, just wanted to thank you, Matt, your entire team. This project pretty much started when I first got on the board about 7 years ago. So the fact that we're pretty much coming to the end is very nice to see. I'm sure you guys wanted to get this done a little bit sooner, but obviously we had a bit of a hiccup with the pandemic and supply chain issues and some unforeseen circumstances, and obviously having to deal with Central Hudson a little bit at their mercy, but, thankfully they were able to step up. So I just want to thank you for all the hard work. I'm not sure everybody really understands what goes into a project of this magnitude. But I think for the long run, it's going to be a significant, as we've already seen, significant savings to the district. I think moving forward, it's going to be a huge benefit. And, stick around because we do have a couple other projects there in the works. But again, want to thank you, your team, Matt, everybody else. And I think having I want to say an interactive website, but a website that can also be used for instruction in the school for kids, just to get an idea of what that's all about, and use that as a learning tool and to help educate them on technology for the future, I think also is a huge benefit as well. So I want to thank you for that too.
John?
Thank you for your presentation, and thank you for the detail that you provided. I appreciate over the long run the savings this will represent to both our district and our taxpayers, which is one of the things that we're charged to do. Not to emphasize the negative, but you did say one thing that I would ask you to clarify. You mentioned a difficulty with the warranty. Is that with getting it initiated, or I thought you said you're.
I know what he's talking about, because he's confused where it's at. Okay, so we were talking about when we were trying to get things brought online, there was a warranty on the transformers that we had to return and get the new transformer because it wasn't appropriate.
And you just said something about a problem with the warranty. Could you just expound and explain that a little bit so that when you're done, I go, oh, good, we're on top of everything.
Right. And I'm sorry if I misspoke. To be clear, it's Amoresco's problem because it's a problem with those inverters, and it's all under warranty, so it's nobody's fault. But we aren't able. The reason we can't catch them online is we're having a communication issue. The system is 100% installed. The system has run and produced power. We just can't get permission to operate from Central Hudson because we need to be able to communicate with the inverters and program them according to Central Hudson's settings. And right now, because of an issue inside those inverters, it's kind of a computer. We're waiting for warranty parts to be sent to us so we can change them, so we can get that system up and running. So to be very clear, this is not the district's problem. This is Amoresco's problem. And we are trying to fight our way through it.
Thank you for that clarification.
Any other comments? Absolutely, Dr. Bonk.
Mr. Rebecca, thank you for taking the time. Thank you for your presentation, and thank you for your work. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Are there any other comments? Thank you, Greg. 6101.
Resolved that the Board of Education does hereby approve the following consent agenda items as stated. 6.02, 6.03, 6.04, 6.05, 6.06, 6.07, 6.08, 6.09, and 6.10.
Motion, Maurice, Cheryl, all in favor? Unanimous. Right?
Yep. Yep.
6.10, approval of BOCES Arts in Education donations. Oh, you're right. I apologize. You're right. That was part of the consent agenda. Okay, 7.01, approval of academic intervention service plan 2023.
I think I could do whatever I call it. Yeah. Whereas the New York State Board of Regents requires approval of an academic intervention services plan that meets requirements of CR 100.2 EE and is updated and approved by the Board of Education every 2 years. And whereas the New York State Board of Regents modified regulations in July 2016. requiring districts to identify students in grades 3 through 8 to receive academic intervention services through a two-step process. First, considering all students performing below the median scale score, and then using a district-developed procedure to be applied uniformly at each grade level for determining which students shall receive AIS. And whereas the district is committed to providing all students the services and supports needed to ensure they will meet New York State learning standards and develop the skills and knowledge necessary for college, career, and civic readiness. And whereas the district has reviewed and revised its academic intervention services plan to align regulatory requirements and the needs of students, and whereas the Wappinger Central School District Academic Intervention Services Plan specifies criteria for eligibility for students in kindergarten through grade 12, criteria for discontinuation of academic intervention services when students have made adequate progress, the manner in which academic intervention services and supports can be provided, and requirements for parent notification. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, approves the revised Wappinger Central School District Academic Intervention Services Plan.
Motion, Marie, second, Cheryl. Discussion? All those in favor? Unanimous? 8.01, any addition to the agenda?
Yes.
Peggy?
Yes, I would like to make an addition to the agenda.
Second, so moved. All those in favor? Unanimous? Peggy?
Be it resolved that the Board of Education hereby confirms the findings of fact and penalty recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools dated May 8th, 2023, which endorsed the finding and penalty of the hearing officer, Stephen Banks, dated. It's okay. No. May 5th, 2023, regarding student number 051823. And be it further resolved that the board president is hereby authorized to sign the board determination letter on behalf of the Board of Education, and be it further resolved that the district clerk is hereby authorized to mail the board determination letter to the students' parents.
Motion, Marie, second, Cheryl. All those in favor? Unanimous? Communication from the public. Seeing none, so I'm going to make a motion to adjourn. Cheryl, second. Cheryl, and second, Marie. All those in favor? Unanimous.
Thank you, everyone, but my therapist.